Hey, how are you today? Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. I'm going to talk today about emotions, not necessarily what they are, why they happen, how. What I'm going to talk about more is how to deal with them. And I would look at it not that you have to deal with them for start to finish, because emotions, when some light is shone on them, when you're aware of your emotions, they usually dissipate pretty quickly, pretty easily. One of the ways to do that is to, instead of getting caught up in the thinking part of um, defining your emotions through description, let go of the wanting to describe what they are, because you won't find very many words to describe it. They're emotions, they're feelings. So to dissipate a negative emotion is just to be with it and just to feel it and feel what it's like, feel where it's like in your body, and just allow yourself those feelings. And sooner or later, sooner more than later, they're just going to dissolve themselves. And for me, when I would get caught up in negative emotions, I would always feel that I had to think my way through it, that I had to think up of a resolution or a solution to them. I had to do something about what I perceived as the apparent problem that caused the emotions. And when I would get out of my head and stop trying to describe the emotions, they dissipate. When I think about my negative emotions, I usually feel that it's somebody else that causes them. It's not me. I feel righteous in having that emotion, that of course I feel angry. This person did this to me, and they should know better. And I feel, for me, where emotions come from is I get a certain expectation of how something's supposed to go, and it doesn't go that way. And then I feel like I'm mad. And then I start to think mad thoughts. And so you can see how, when you're thinking and feeling and thinking and feeling, that anger builds. I'm sure you've felt like that. I know I have with several emotions. There's sadness or grief, and you get on that kind of trundle wheel of spinning around why you're angry, why you're upset, why you're so sad. This person did this, that person did this. This shouldn't be like this. I should have something different in my life that I don't have, and I'm mad at something. And so the point is to get out of that cyclical thinking and to just be with the emotion and just to feel the emotions. Emotions aren't wrong. And growing up in this society, I learned that the only true emotion that I was allowed to have, experience, and express was anger. And anger is a secondary emotion. I was sad, and then through reaction, we become angry. And anger is great for propelling us into some sort of action. But when it's not taken on consciously, then we start to act unconsciously, and we use the anger. We almost feel like we are the anger. But if we can be conscious with that emotion of anger that we're feeling and just feel those feelings, it helps us recognize that we aren't our emotions. And the emotions don't control us, we control them. And when you bring a consciousness to that, it's like bringing a light into a dark room. And all you need is a single candle, and you can light your way around that room. So if you're feeling any sort of emotion, let go of the thinking aspect of it and just feel it in your body. You might feel a tightness in your shoulders. That's where I get mine. And let go of the idea that you have to do something about that emotion, or that you're not allowed to feel them or have them. They're there. And the precursor is usually a thought. So if you feel that emotion of anger, and you'll feel it dissipate. It took me a little while, but after a couple of times of really wanting to bring consciousness to the emotions, I felt I was in the driver's seat, and I could then remind myself of how I wanted to be, how I wanted to feel, how I wanted to act, and being angry wasn't it. And then after I've let some of the emotion dissipate, I try to follow it down to the root. What was the root cause? Was I expecting somebody to zig when they zagged? And that's why I got upset. And I think it comes back to that idea of letting go, almost letting go of everything, letting go that I think that I have to know and do and make up the way for me to go or for my day to be, or a certain project has to work out a certain way. And if I don't, then I'm going to get mad. So when we can let go of expectations, then we stop those emotions from even starting. So you're allowed your emotions. They're an indicator to tell you that what you're thinking about isn't for your good. It isn't dream affirmative, It isn't positive. It's not going to take you higher. It's going to take you lower. So that's all the emotions really are. They're energy in motion. And the energy originates from our thoughts. So if you want to change your emotions, change your thoughts. It's that easy. And the first step towards anything in life is making a decision. So for me, I made the decision that I was not going to be controlled by my emotions anymore. I was going to allow them. I'm not wrong for having them. I don't have to annihilate them or ever stop them from starting again. But when I brought some consciousness into them, being in the body, looking for where those emotions are hiding, also brings some consciousness, some presence to it. And that's what we're all here to do. We all have a consciousness. We all are the consciousness that sees their emotions. It sees our thoughts. And when you can bring that in too, that's your connection to the higher self, whatever you want to call it, but it's beating all our hearts, and it makes 6 million sets of eyes every day, and man has not been able to replicate a single eye. So that's a pretty powerful force, in my opinion. And another decision we have to make, and I steal this from Albert Einstein, he said the biggest decision anyone has to make in life is if this is a friendly universe or not. And I decided, for me, the first step is to make a decision that this was a friendly universe. And the tough times in my life are learning experience. We learn outside of the things we believe. So our emotions can really teach you some things when you plug into the feeling states of what they are. The thoughts cause the emotions. So getting out of the thoughts, being in the emotion, will erase some of that anger, that buildup, that, you know what it's like to be pumped up full of emotions? It sucks. It feels powerless. Certainly it does to me. So feel your emotions, allow them. Once they've dissipated, trace them back to their origins, which is usually a thought you've had in your head that might be from an expectation or really something that just might not be true. So I wish you the best in your life. I want you to have what you want to have in your life, just like I do, just like I want for everybody. This is a great place to be. You're alive for a reason. Let these things that stand in our way, this is a bit of a tool on clearing the road. So go be the change you wish to see. I appreciate you being here. Take care.